What's up guys, my name is Andy. It's wheel upgrade day. It's time to get rid of my 16x7s with 225 50/16 tires, Falcon Azenis, the RT 615K pluses. We're gonna get these tires out of here and put on my new set. So let's roll these out and roll in the new one. So this is what I'm going with. I decided to go, so what I've got here is a 17x8. These are ET Mags LT3 or Team 3 wheels. They're 17x8 with a 4.75 inch backspacing, 255/40 tires, square all around, and these are the Falcon Azenis RT 615K plus. The same tire that I had before, just wider. And this partially was driven by my large front brake upgrade that I just did on this car. To put those front brakes on the car, I needed to go with a larger wheel. And when you're doing that, well, what tire can we fit? If we're gonna go wider, let's get everything we can. So I had done a couple of videos of finding out what tire I could put on here, the back spacing, all that kind of stuff. And we ended up with this. So this is the wheel I'm gonna go with. For those that were watching the previous video, I was between this and the American Racing torque thrust wheel. Same design as the other ones, but I think I just wanted to try something different this round. And so that's what we're going with. In fact, actually, I believe this wheel is actually lighter than the equivalent size of the torque thrust wheel. So we give it a little savings there, a little benefit. But so let's put the wheel on the car and see how it looks. Now I'm still rocking the drum brakes for the rear. I know this is kind of a mix match setup when you've got drum brakes in the rear and those huge 13-inch rotors up front, 6 piston calipers, awesome up there. But I've got some plans for the rear. And so I'll be taking care of this down the road, but so for now we're just gonna leave these drums on here. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right, we'll come back and we'll torque those here when I get the car down on the ground, but woohoo, this looks good. Everything's fitting nice. Awesome, let's go to the front. Ooh, look at that rear tire, that's so much tire. Ah, looks awesome. Okay, I wanted to point out something real quick here on my front brakes. You see this bolt right here? This guy is an adjustment, it's a stop to hit the bottom arm here on my spindle. And what happens is, as you're turning the car, we don't want this to turn too far inboard where the tire would rub here on this little cutout or anything on the frame. And because these Mike Meyer lower control arms I have that adjustment in there, I can reduce the amount of turning. Now, I mean, that's not ideal, right? We don't want to reduce the turning, but I can set it up so I don't rub on the car. And I think I've got it set up good, but because with the backspacing I have on these wheels, those tires get really, really, really close to that edge there, and I don't want to run spacers if I can help it. So I adjusted that, we'll see how it comes out, but just a heads up on that. It's another nice thing about those Mike Meyer lower control arms that you get that adjustment in there. Alrighty, get this guy on here. Oh yeah. All right, so again, we'll get the car on the ground and we'll torque them down, but yeah, that looks really good. Another thing I want to show, there's plenty of clearance in here. In fact, the 16-inch wheels that I had, I tried them on here when I put these big brakes on, and those 16s did fit. They recommend 17s with this brake setup because not every 16 will fit, but those torque thrust, American Racing torque thrust wheels do fit with these larger, these 13-inch discs and 6-piston calipers. But I took the opportunity to get some bigger wheels and then of course some wider tires because I wanted to maximize what I had. Cool, so let's get the other set on the other side, drop the car. Now we need to drop the car and roll it in and out because this gap here will settle a little bit as we move the car a little bit, and I want to see how this thing, the final fitment of this whole setup here. Woohoo! Look at that. Cool, let's roll it out and roll it in real quick. Settle this suspension. Woohoo! That looks good. Oh man, that looks really good. I'm wondering if this will come down just a little bit more. Again, we get the car out, tried to roll it back and forth to drop it a little bit. We'll see how that comes out on the road. So what's the next step? I got to take the car out and drive it. I want to see what these feel like, but because I got these new brakes and I was waiting for these wheels, I haven't had a chance to set the brake pads in and get the brakes all dialed in. And so with this, with these new front brakes, there's a whole process to go through to get this set up, and various, go to 15 miles an hour, then stop, then go to 20 miles an hour, then stop, that kind of stuff, and then let the brakes cool off. And then about halfway through it, I need to let the car sit for a couple hours, let the brakes completely cool off, then do the adjustment of the brake bias. I got that adjustment valve, the proportioning valve, to adjust the front and rear brake bias. So what I want to do is, let's fire up the car, let's put some heat in it, and do two things at once, right? Do a couple of these this whole setup here for these brakes, and then see how the car feels, and get some pictures of it out on the road. So yeah, let's fire it up, take advantage of this awesome day. Nope, scratch that. We're not going anywhere today, and let me show you why. All right, keep your eye on this part right here. This is part of the spindle, the new spindle that I put on with those big brakes. This is a part for a 1970 Mustang, not a 1966 Mustang, and these adjustment steering, the tie rods for the steering are for a 66, so keep an eye on that. See that slop? That's not supposed to be like that, and that thing is tightened down all the way to where you tighten the nut and it just spins the ball joint, so we're not getting any tighter. There's too much play in there, so this, we're not driving anywhere, because the tire would just do this down the road, and we don't want that. Alrighty, well, that's too bad. And the same problem on the other side too. Both of those ball joints are obviously, they're too small. When I looked online, sure enough, in 1970, they started with a larger pin for the ball joint. So I went ahead and ordered a pair of the rod ends, the tie rod ends for each side. So we'll get those here, and I'll get those installed, and then I can take the car out and drive it and do the break in. So gosh darn it. Oh well, it's a nice day too. And I'm looking at the weather, going forward, and I don't know if we're gonna have this nice break last a long time, but doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. Cool. So yeah, we got the wheels on. So the sound that it made, what gave it away, was went to back the car out, and you know how like on a concrete floor like this, it's real smooth. If you were to turn the tires and like back out or pull in, it kind of screeches and kind of, it rubs a little bit on the concrete, and it makes kind of a rubbing sound. I don't know how else to describe it. That's what I noticed when I was backing up, and I'm just like, maybe I just needed the suspension to settle a little bit more, and it's just squeezing out as the suspension settles. But I went back, I don't know, maybe a foot or 2, 3, and get out, look at the ground, everything looks fine. So then I backed up a little bit farther, and it just, something's not right. And that's your giveaway, right? You gotta stop and pull back in and see what's going on. I couldn't even pull the car out to take a thumbnail for the video, because I didn't want to ruin anything. I didn't know if something was rubbing or bad or whatever. But anyway, so pull the car back in, and then you guys just saw what I saw about the tire. And now when I went to assemble all the brakes and put that back together, in that video, I didn't have the wheels on, so I didn't notice. I cinched down the ball joint, the nut on the ball joint, and everything seemed fine. But when you put that wheel on there and you've got a larger distance from the center of the hub to move it around, you got more torque, right? It's easier to see that play in the end of that steering arm there on the spindle. But anyways, I'm rambling, guys. All right, cool. So that's the end of this video. Yay, we got new wheels, and they look great, and I'm anxious to go try them out, but we got a part to wait for, so cool. All right, guys, that's that. We'll see you in the next one.